Do you have any idea how many women would love for me to take them to my house so they can meet my mother?
Oh, I can just about guess.
And I'm going to take a quote from one of my favorite movies of all time, Waiting to Exhale. A white woman, a Hispanic woman, a Mexican woman can have your black.
Man, you black is all the same. You complain all the time about don't nobody want your asses, don't know how to treat ya. As soon as a man or brother show you genuine interest, that's simple. And then you wonder why we go out with white women.
A white woman can have your sorry ass.
One day, when they're writing the biopsy of the African-American community in America as we've come to know it, they're going to have to write a full chapter on the color purple and its effects on the black community. This movie did untold damage to the black community. The fact that many young women think that this is actual black history, a movie that is self-admitted as fiction. And yet you can talk to a large majority of young women who think that this is exactly the way things were before, I guess you could say it, feminism. But what this movie couldn't do, Waiting to Exhale, the tag team partner, finished off. It's 4 very beautiful, successful black women, and they're just berated and surrounded by and accosted by mediocre black men of poor morals that is simply will not treat them the way that they're worth. And so whatever was left over from The Color Purple in terms of the negative black male identity in the psyche of many in the black community, Waiting to Exhale was the tag team partner that came off the rope and finished the job. And we still see the effects from these 2 movies even till today.
Black women and white men are more or so equally yoked in the grander scheme of things. No shade, LT. When you look at where black women fall, at least household-wise, head of household, education, leading the education right now, the responsibilities that we have, most of the time, we're a little bit closer to each other in understanding. Whereas
I'm wanting to know, why are African-American men avoiding some African-American women?
Because most of them are low-value, narcissistic men who are running from responsibility. A lot of them want to control a woman with money.
It's not that men don't like prostitutes and tricking. It's that it's too expensive. Hence the reason why they're passport bros.
Well, who are black men? Who is our companion then? Who we got? If that's the dynamic.
I'm speaking of when it comes to interracial relationship. I'm not saying it in the sense of like, oh, I feel like black women and white men should be together. That's not what I'm saying at all. Oh. But a lot of the times I'm saying in the situations where it does happen, if you look at like Serena Williams.
And I'll give you an example. For the last 2 years or 3 years on TV, and maybe a little bit longer, there have been numerous commercials on TV about black women and foreigners, or white men, or foreign men as husbands in commercials, all over the TV. I mean, everybody should see it. Almost every commercial that comes on now has a black woman with a non-black man as a companion, or a husband, or in bed, or wherever on the commercial. Who puts that idea out there, and who pushes that commercial?
I'm mad. You shouldn't have never even brought that up.
Why? The ones calling her big black.
You don't think white men was doing that too?
Yeah, they were definitely doing it. They was doing it the most.
Them doing it is not a surprise to me. Black men doing it is wild.
And a lot of men over here are very narcissistic and abusive. Hence the reason why the women over here don't want them. You should be asking us why we don't want them, not why they don't want us. It's because they cannot control us with money. A lot of women over here are independent and self-sufficient.
They go all the way across the country to do the same thing they could have did here, just for a cheaper price. You had the time of your life for what you could have did up the street.
And I think I talked to you on your show before. I completely understand why black women need to be pushed forward and need the economic opportunities and the educational opportunities, because the common sense is that she's the head of the household. and head of our families, right?
That's right.
So she's the head of a household. Then she does need to be pushed forward educationally and business-wise and education. Until we as black men step forward, or us as a group, reestablish the concept of marriage among our people, we can't have the black woman ill-prepared to take care of a family if she's the head of the family. So I think that
she's not.
Look at it. We have to look at it like I think we have to look at it with some common sense, so to speak.
It's because they cannot control us with money. A lot of women over here are independent and self-sufficient. We can take care of ourselves. The men over here they're like modern day slave masters. They only want to control a woman and be able to do whatever he wants to do with her and leave her as a single mother. So what they do is they go abroad where they know that women don't have much money, and they use their money as a way to blind them from their character. That's my men over here. We don't want them. They can go. I actually wish more of them come to Africa. I wish more of them come over to Africa.
You travel all the way across the country to go touch on a lady boy. They don't hate us. They don't hate the culture. They don't hate that, oh, everything is transactional now. It's just too costly.
You cannot tell me that those two movies do not still live rent-free in our heads and in our hearts. Not just women, but men as well. You hear the trope over and over again that black men have failed, that black men need to do better, that black men are leaving behind single mothers when they become passport bros. And people just don't look at the simple stats that more than half of black men don't even have kids. And that they're talking about a group of guys that's not the guys going overseas. We say it over and over and over again, and it's almost as if to bring up Kevin Samuels or anyone that pointed to the actual facts to say that you're demonizing a group of men that did not do all of these things, the answer remains the same.
Don't you throw that up here.
A white woman, a Hispanic woman, a Mexican woman can have your black ass.
A white woman can have your sorry ass.
I remember that quote very well, but go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, he showed up drunk in a leather and wearing summertime and all that good stuff. That's how you sound. You sound stupid and ignorant. Nobody has to tell you to go to work. Nobody has to tell you to go play golf. Nobody has to tell you to hang out with your buddies. Why do we have to tell you to get out and vote? Black women are not saying that we don't want black men. We don't have to tell you that because the ones who are doing it are doing it. The ones who have a problem with it are the ones who don't vote for the problem or not doing what they're supposed to be doing. We are with our black brothers. I've never dated outside my race in my life, so I'm not spending any more time on that.
Yawn. What does she mean? The ones that are doing it. The ones that are not. What? Mr. Z's lost on that one. Okay. All right. And Compassionate says, if this ain't the Black Manosphere influence, I don't know what is. No, that definitely was the Black Manosphere. The reason why is my nephew is a square and he's studying medical engineering, not the type that they really go for. Simply put, if he was around more non-black women, what does she expect? It don't even got to be that deep. God forbid one of these women break a smile and is nice to him, right? In comparison to the other black. See, if the black girls and black women are a bit coarse, mean. See, you said a bit. I know. A bit coarse, mean, somewhat dismissive, combative, argumentative, just overly sassy. And you meet a Latina who's not that, where do you think black men are going?
As always, salute to Mr. Z Black in Effect. I like to think of him as your favorite YouTuber's favorite YouTuber. But here he nails this because he's essentially saying that for the guys as you go younger, if you're trying to shame them with these old tactics, well, they just aren't going to work anymore. You're talking about a new generation that hasn't even seen these types of movies like Color Purple and Waiting to Exhale. And if you're going to use the same tactics, they're going to look at you and say, nah, I'm good.
And the lady want to bring up, go end up with the Latina or the white woman or whatever. We don't need your black ass. Yawn.
Troy, take your drunk ass, leather wearing in the summertime, need a shave, stinky ass home.
And Waiting to Excel being her favorite movie. Of course it's one of your favorite movies, ma'am. Of course it is. And Lotto Player One, the shaming tactic doesn't work because the women overused it. Should shaming work? Yes. Does shaming work for some? But what happens when you keep on pressing that button for everything? The shaming isn't working because the women used it for everything. They shot all their nukes already. I've said this before. The women threw white men in our faces. They attempted to shame us. They said, oh, fat phobic, colorist, featurist, texturist. You hate your mama. You don't like black women. You hate being black. You hate yourself. You hate what you see in the mirror. The black women shot all of them. A black child only comes from a black womb. All the things that they say, they shot all of them. White men do it better. Non-black men do it better. These other men are not colorists like black men. These other men are not features like, these other men are better men. These other men know how to treat women. These other men, black women shot all of it. So the shaming tactics don't work because the women just kept on pressing. They kept on spamming that button. You know, when you give your controller to one of these folks and they do a combo on one of these fighting games, they're like, ooh, I'm going to just keep on pressing those buttons over and over and over again. So the shaming tactics just simply don't work. Look how quick men, black men, the uninitiated black men just started saying, you know what? Yeah, I'm sassy. Now what?
And that is how we got here. For older generations of us, we think of having duty to a group of people because we were, I guess, socialized that way. But for younger kids that are going to school in mixed communities, and a lot of the identity that we got from our community in terms of church or just social communities, if you will, living together and whatnot, it's just not there. And so to try and shame these younger guys with the same tactics, they're going to look at you sideways and say, I just want someone that's nice to me. I want someone that cares about me. I want someone that talks sweet to me. It is a bit shocking looking through 2025 eyes at the kind of media and movies that we saw portraying black men in the 80s and 90s. This kind of steady stream of subpar men with low morals or very low concern for building families or very poor treatment to women. And this idea that those are the men that propagate the black community, it still remains. And so for a generation or two of young men coming up in the fog of this and hearing the old tropes and the responses to those old tropes, some of those guys are simply going to say, if you don't want me, then I'm going to walk away somewhere where someone wants me more. And if you get a reprieve from those old tropes that black men are no good and black men don't take care of their families, then so be it, because who deserves to live our 70, 75 years on this planet being seen as the bad guy? It's just marching the next generation of Troy and Troy's grandchildren to other places to look for love. The unfortunate fallout of a couple of decades of waiting to exhale policy. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below. I'll catch you next video. Take care.